Okay, so welcome to Uraya. Now, we're currently in the capital city of Fonsamima. Now, I don't want to kind of give you too much of that capital city. We've seen a little bit of Torrigoth, so I'll let you explore Fonsamima proper yourself when it's just down there in the corner. But we're in now the world of Uraya, which is very different. So, where Gormott was full of those lush green fields and kind of that very natural structure, we're kind of in a different vibe. Uraya, we're actually inside this Titan.
Inside an actual Titan.
This is just as a little bit of a... down there is where we want to go. So I want to kind of bring a little callback to Xenoblade Chronicles, if you remember traversing the mountains and the ice physics with that. This when I kind of saw this for the first time, I was quite excited. So let's jump into Uraya a little bit.
It's a nice way to enter.
Surfing USA.
Are you going to nail the jump though?
I'm going to try it.
I'm going to try it.
Come on. Don't pressurize me here. I did it first time last time.
No!
Gamers love a
nailed it.
Nailed it. Okay, we got it. So that is actually the only way to get across that.
That's very cool.
Oh yeah, I really liked it just because it was one of those things that I quite specifically liked about that area in Xenoblade Chronicles, where it just kind of changed the way you explored that particular area and really brought something to the. I could go down there, but I'm not going to. I'm sorry. We're going to go into the water. So the reason we're here is obviously, as we were discussing, we're going to go and have a look at a bit of a much more challenging fight, basically.
Yeah.
To kind of really get into a little bit more specifics of battle, and see if we can kind of explain it as we go. So this is one of the first kind of unique monsters that I had a bit of a struggle with.
Okay.
And I really appreciated that. Now, given our level and given our setup, I'm going to just spend a slight moment just to quickly sort myself out. Now, one of the great things about this game is engaging blades. And you've got different types of blades and they have different types. So Dromark, as it says, role is healer, and here Kokoro is a tank. And then there are attackers as well. So if you have a look at class effect, currently Nia, she's a knight, which is a combination of both one healer and one tank. If you change this, you'll become to having one of each, one healer, one tank, one attacker, become a jack of all trades. And in the center you can see those buff effects. I'm a big fan of Golden Sun, and I thought that the Jin system in that game, kind of like combining different elements of Jin to get different classes, was really exciting. And that, as a fan of that series, this is one thing that really spoke to me. And I've really been experimenting with these. Now, before we fight this, there is this guy over here, and he sometimes gets in the way, so I'm just going to quickly take him down.
Time to take you down.
Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Whilst I'm doing this, we'll kind of go through the basics. Now the damage is a lot bigger now as well. So now that he's broken, I'm going to combo this on a third attack here. I'm going to auto-attack cancel using a skill to topple him. This will give us a lot of the large HP potions to heal ourselves. So it's kind of a big part of healing is using skills that have HP potion drops to be able to do a lot of damage.
It's also nice for fans of Xenoblade Chronicles to know that there is a system, the break to topple smash system is still here, so everything just stacks on top of each other. There is a lot you have to consider in combat in this game, but it's all these individual strands of the combat that all work together to maximise your damage output.
Yeah. Now, sometimes you want to really focus on just getting skills out, and sometimes you want to make sure that what you're getting is as much damage out as possible. So you want to really change up what you're doing based on the scenario. I just thought that was a bad time to get knocked down. Okay, so I've used the level 2 combo from Nia to push me into the level 3 setup. Now, I have currently level 2 on Pyra. I'm going to be using depending on which attack. So every kind of attack you have is 3 segments. If you do the cancel, a skill cancel on your auto attacks, on the third one you get more of the gauge for your skills. But you need, in order to build it, you need to get a cancel. So there we go. Now I've got that level 3. Now I can use level 3, but because Pyra is max affinity with the yellow bar, when it's yellow you can go up to your 4th skill, which is your ultimate skill.
Rex, I'm with you.
Way.
There we go.
And let's have a look at his damage. 16,000. Nice. It's just so much damage sometimes. It's great. So, and now because we did a level 3, you can see that orb kind of rolling around. Now I'm not going to be able to have enough. I'm probably going to kill him before I get a chance to really neutralize the damage from that.
Yeah.
He's broken, he's toppled now, so I'm just going to be able to finish him off nice and quickly here.
So those orbs come into play when you build a party gauge, which is up in the top left of the screen. And it's all just to do with, so before, it's to do with maximising your damage output, trying to avoid those enraged states right now. If you see that glow on the enemy, that means he's enraged, he's going to be doing more damage. If he was a stronger enemy, you know, he might suddenly be causing you some difficulties, which is why you want to be stacking up those orbs, going into that big attack at the end.
Yeah. So actually, the reason this guy's really hard is because I didn't notice this when I first fought him, but he's actually a driver.
Oh, this enemy is a driver. Where's his blade?
His blade was just behind him. Go away, mate. There it is.
Oh, there's his blade.
I didn't notice. So, like, monsters can actually attune with the blade. So, in case you haven't perhaps seen the information about blades, blades are obviously they are living things, but they kind of give you the physical embodiment, which is their weapon. So, the Aegis behind us here, and that is Pyra's weapon, and she gives that to her driver, which is Rex. So this guy, that's not good. I'm going to have to reset this fight because you want to go into it winning.
So when a monster is a driver, what additional considerations does that bring to the fight?
Now, there are obviously because like you can use skills as well, and so can they. So they're going to have their normal kind of monster skills. So there are other enemies of this type just kind of like hanging around in the corners. But he's going to have additional skills. Now, normally when a driver uses a skill, you can't hit them, and your auto attacks bounce back off them, which is very, very annoying. This guy needs to go away. Go away.
That's alright. He's coming.
Okay. So this is the warp trap.
Watch yourself, Rex. Mind you don't fall out,
I'm
Graham.
going to just take this slow. But okay, here we go.
Before the fact. Right. So that didn't go so well.
It didn't go so well, you're right. But, you know, what I wanted to do was just edit my loadout, really, because I found that, I mean, I like double spinning edge is good. It does good damage, it hits twice, it's got a quick recharge time. But the thing about rolling smash is that it reduces, as you can see, the aggro by quite a bit. So now we've got a loadout where Rex can decrease his aggro, Tora's going to get you in more increased aggro.
Yep.
Let's have a look at our accessories. Has he got his Nopon mask on? He has, increases aggro. Now, pouch. We haven't really talked about pouch. You mentioned this a little bit earlier.
I did.
But different characters have different preferences, and now if you put an item in your pouch, you get like gains of different types of bonuses.
Yep.
So if I was to have the generosity you get plus 15 to your party gauge gain, which means that you'll get more party gauge. Now I'm going to do this
because generosity.
You got some generosity. Nice.
Having this makes me real happy.
So this is a better loadout. Hopefully, Nia's going to do a little bit more healing because she didn't do as much healing, and I use up my
Don't get ahead of yourself.
so let's go for it. Okay, I have got the aggro right now. He always starts off with that little simple attack there.
This won't do.
Don't give up on me.
Right. Tora has all the aggro.
It'll be fine.
So that was the reason that we took so much damage was because of the enemy doing blade. It did a blade combo there and did a spinning attack that hit everyone.
It's wobbling backwards.
Oh yeah, he's going towards him. Oh, in the way! That just comes out so quickly. You have to be aware when it's happening. It's okay. Tora's there.
That's my bad, Tora. Why not?
So this is the thing you got to know as well. Is that when you have low affinity, your movement speed is also slower. So the longer you spend in the fight, your movement speed increases and you become a lot. Yeah, he's been broken. I like this. Okay, Trouble's good. You like Trouble. What's the healing going? I need to get some damage out because I need to get my skills up.
You need to get some orbs on him.
Keep going.
This guy keeps using his skills. Not going well. Maybe 28 is a bit too low. Rex is 27. Stench is annoying. It just kind of, as you said, kind of decreases your connection with your
to their pain.
It's a shame like we're not. If we had seal stench over on our combo, that would be very handy.
That's one of those things. One of those things you'll be really acutely aware of.
For sure.
Let's give him a full.
It's alright. It's alright. We're looking good.
We got this. Just get up. Halo.
It's because when you play this game, when you like know what's going on, your eyes are always darting everywhere.
Amazing. Okay, this is where we want to be very, very focused here.
Finally got an orb.
So you can see that he's consistently being very aggro with those attacks. And it's all about keeping your eye on your character's HP. Now, the reason this guy's so tough is if you go into rage mode so early that he just starts doing monumental amounts of damage.
At this point, we really want to get like one more Element Orb and then use our party.
Alright. There we go. Did I get it? Lost it. I had level 3 there.
We're up, Grants. Excellent. Get him, Nia.
Uraya, ready.
Bursting immediately, very nice. Damage out.
You gotta go. Tora right here.
Big damage you can see coming up from every single one of these skills now.
Let's keep it up. Superb. Go for it.
Prominence. Report.
Okay, so again, keeping these on the rise. Level 2 is a heal, so I want to make sure I land this because it heals everyone up to max as well as dealing damage to him. That's the end of it. I didn't get enough, unfortunately. But that's good. That was good damage.
Cheers for that.
Now I'm also going to be keeping an eye on Pyra because when Pyra becomes available again for me to switch to, I'm switching immediately to her. Another anchor shot out. And he's just been broken top board as well. There's the cold snap. Okay, nice. So depending on what element you're using and when you topple them, you get different effects. So I got a big party chain gauge boost from that one.
Which is very handy, especially after you've used a party chain and they're in such a low health situation.
Yeah, I got very happy there as well.
Hey, I believe in you.
Very nice. So not only do you get damage from the actual move you use, but then when you get the level 2 combo, you can see Pyroclasm happens there, or Volcano happens, got him down.
That was invigorating.
Not a lot of damage. Oof,
Very
it's
well
tough.
I thought you were sleeping.
It took a while. It did take a while. It took me 3 attempts.
3 attempts, and then the actual fight itself was. But the thing is, like, you can't. It doesn't just like go by. You have to be.
Yeah.
Every little decision, every little micro movement.
Yeah, because you mentioned it as well. You're saying you're darting around because you're keeping an eye on your HP, you're keeping an eye on the enemy's HP, you're keeping an eye on the skills that are ready. You're looking on the sides to see which kind of skills are going on.
Yeah.
Now, whilst this is, I can imagine for some people who may be quite new to it, it does feel like it's a lot. But the more you play it and the more you get used to it, it really becomes engaging.
Are you not done beating up the wildlife?
Yeah. You're talking about battle system, right?
But it's like every little decision, and you can always optimize. You can always come up with better blade combinations, and you can always, tweak one little something. And that's really the fun of it. As you say, it sounds super complicated, but once you understand that you're essentially trying to react with the break, topple, launch, smash stuff, and then you're just trying to land these orbs so that you can then break them in the end for that huge output of damage. It's a very logical system when you get into it. And a very satisfying one.
Yeah, I think the satisfaction thing is definitely something I would agree with. It's the thing that I really felt the most was that when it all started making sense, like I put 2 and 2 together and was like, right, this is what happens here, this is my focus here. And like, it's definitely, again, that's one of those things, is like, it's all about the build-up. It's all about the build-up to, the finale that is, the big damage at the end. As you say, you're building. I guess it's a kind of good way to put it. You're building a combo. You're building everything. You're just stacking all this stuff on, and then when everything's stacked on, you unleash 16,000 damage.
You cash it all in.
Like that, yeah. Which is kind of a nice fight.
We are only showing you a tiny part of any of these locations.
Yeah. I mean,
they're all massive.
I mean, that's just the map, but that's just one section. And true to Xenoblade Chronicles, you'll be finding things all the time.
Yeah,
all the time.
There's little little corridors off the side of things. There's doors that you have to do specific things to unlock. There's areas that you can't get to until you've got specific blades. Obviously, unique monsters you're not going to fight until you're much higher level. But let's take a little sneak peek at one more area.
One final world.
One final world.
Let's take a step into one final world.
Yes.
Okay, where are we going then, Mr. Bowden?
Let's go to more Ardain.
Welcome to the capital of more Ardain, which is a very different kind of world. So we've seen, I mean, for lack of a better word, these very natural environments.
Yeah.
Meh. Morning already?
Yes, it is, Tora.
It's new day.
It is a new day. Where you can see a world or a country, a continent, which has got a little bit more of that human presence.
A little bit more.
A little bit more
Smokestacks.
Yeah, like the steaming metropolis that is. Yeah. You're right there. Rex is just having a bit of a moment.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, as you say, this is a very different Titan. The smokestacks you can see, obviously, because the people of More Ardain, they're much more into the art of creating weapons out of Titans, for want of a better term.
Yeah, they're also kind of like the most human-like of the countries. We didn't really kind of touch on that, but Gormoti were kind of like as near as a Gormoti herself. They're kind of like cats, basically. Like
they've got those features about them.
Yeah, they've got like the cat ears and stuff. They're a bit more. I don't want to say the word feral. That's the wrong word.
Oh, I'm going to get trampled.
Oh dear, okay, go
I
on.
apologise.
But yeah, you can tell that the different countries, the different continents have a different people and a different way of life and a different vibe to them. Very much more. It's very, I guess, militaristic.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see from here, they have a giant Titan roaming the street that just has a pair of guns strapped to him. And there are other. Obviously, all the races in the world of Alrest rely on the Titans.
Yes.
Some are just a bit less forceful about it. I mean, as we walk around, you can see this very steel, electric lights. Again, the smokestacks.
But yeah, you can still see that the Titan itself is still alive and is still moving in the background. Yeah.
And obviously, if we move around here, they're very. There's the palace. I wouldn't say regal is not the right word for it, but imposing.
Yeah.
Certainly imposing.
I mean, it's not called an empire for nothing, is it?
No, there we go. And the security here is impressive.
A very important place. Important to know that as well as the capital city is very high up, and there's this massive valley below.
Yeah, so that is a quick look at More Ardain. We don't really want to go and we don't want to go too far into this particular location because the game's out. Very shortly.
We want to show you some stuff, but we don't want to obviously give you everything because then what's the point of playing it?
And as as we have said already, we are only showing you a tiny snippet of everything this game offers.
Yeah.
There is so much more to discover, so many more Titans to go to, so many more blades to unlock, combat strategies to come up with, and more and more unique beasts like Sad Bernard.
Sad Bernard. Feisty Steve somewhere. That's probably around there somewhere.
Hopefully you guys out there have enjoyed this. Again, we stress little look at what Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has to offer, and hopefully you guys all pick it up and enjoy it. And especially enjoy it on Nintendo Switch, where you can obviously play it lavishly on a big TV, or whilst you're on the underground.
Yeah,
bust out a few side quests.
On the train, on the bus.
Yeah, you can enjoy it. You can do your little side quests whilst you're out and about, and then when you get home, when you've got that grand story, that incredible cutscene to watch, because they are incredible.
We haven't even talked about that yet.
Yeah, there you go. Woo! Just dock in and enjoy them on a lovely big TV. It really is.
It's special.
It's something else, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it as well.
As a fan of Xenoblade Chronicles as a series, the first one, X, which is really close to my heart, I'm a big fan of that game. This is something. This is certainly a fantastic entry into that series, and I can't wait for it to release to hear my thoughts and talk about it. Probably talk about it.
It's exciting. But yeah, see, I Again, I have been James Bowden, Community Manager here at Nintendo UK.
And I'm Bowie Alexander.
And thank you for watching.
Okay.
Time. Master